Hi everyone. Today I'm going to keep focus on the history topic, and I'm going to discuss the rise of Hinduism. Probably everyone knows that Hinduism is one of the oldest religion on earth, and they kind of believe that everything was a united soul, everything was like one thing, and believe human as the individual soul that comes from universal soul. And the word for individual soul is called Atman, and universal soul is called Brahma. Maybe the pronunciation is wrong, but that's how things work. So their myth is like the whole universe started with like chaos, and suddenly there was like this one divine called Vishnu, which some people said it was the preserver, some people said he's the creator. But anyway, there was a lotus come out of his body, and he was like called the lotus to like create the world for me. And then Brahma come out from it. He thinks he's the real one that really created the universe. Some people call him the creator. And basically the other was created from piece of his soul. He was also known as the universal soul. And later they kind of trying to decide who's stronger. So there was a column in the universe, and there was like who can first reach the end of the column and come back will be the most powerful one. I do not really know why they do that, but yeah, they did. And after years they come back, and they never reach the end of the column. They're like, I fly so long and never reach the end of the column. So at last they decide that the column will be the strongest one, and then Shiva, the destroyer, come out. So kind of a philosophy idea inside. The power of destroy always strongest? Well, the one philosophy idea I get from the story is, upon all destruction, Hindus believe cycle of those begin again. Okay, I worded this way to make myself sound philosophical. Well, those are the three divines. It do not really matter what part they played in the cycle, because they are basically one thing according to Hinduism. And also, they have thousands of other goddesses, but they are basically the avatar of those three main gods. The religion starts at the Indus Valley. Well, we know that Indus Valley is one of the oldest human civilization. Archaeologists find that there are high developed civilization flourished throughout the Indus Valley between 4000 to 1500 BCE. And for a reason unknown, those guys suddenly just move out the valley, and they resettle in northwestern India and encounter a group of people from Central Asia. And those guys brought with them warrior aesthetic and their religion, which is the Vedism. And those archaeological evidence find that there was like artifacts of modern Hinduism in ancient Indus Valley instead of Vedic civilization. So based on this, it seems like people from Central Asia settled in Indus, and their Vedic belief were mingled with the indigenous belief, combined and form Hinduism. So there are many things that Hinduism stand apart from other religions. For example, it has no single founder, and no single book or technological lore and about the truth, and no central religion organization, no definition of absolute being and it was a cycle. And most interesting thing is that according to Hinduism philosophy, they believe that there was like only one divine, and all the other religions sort of practice are just an interpretation of that one. Everything was one, and we have so many interpretations of it. We can always reach the top of the top of the mountain, which is like going back to part of God, because we're just part of Brahma. And we fail to realize it, so we're forced to stuck in Surma, which is the cycle of life and death. Interesting. And this means they basically encourage anyone to choose a religion path that best suited for their social, intelligent, emotional, spiritual need. As long as you reach the top of the mountain, it didn't matter which way you go. So according to this philosophy idea, there was something called tolerance of Hinduism. It basically tolerates the path of action, devotion, and knowledge. It's a very tough idea. See the word tolerance, you probably know what it means. But I will again give an example. For example, Hinduism can go to big temple to worship the big god, the Vishnu, the Shiva. But some Hindus can just stay in their shelter, worship small and common gods. They are both considered good Hindus. It doesn't really matter. Which is probably why there are so many god and goddess and ritual practice are described in the numerous Hindu scriptures. So now let's talk about some of its literature. Let's start with Vedas. There are many philosophy, story, ritual of Hinduism, and many of those beliefs were combined in a set of scripture written around 1300 BCE, known as the Vedas. Vedas is the belief as the internal truths that were here, then written down by holy servants. So, Vedas is the earliest philosophy in Hinduism. It basically suggests that time and life are cycle. After death, one soul leaves the body and it was rebirth or reincarnate, whatever you like to call it, into a new form. Cycle of birth and rebirth is known as samsara. And the quality of new birth is also known as karma, which most people seems to think it was if you do bad things, bad will come to you. If you do good things, good will come to you. Which is basically kind of the basic idea. Well, its literate meaning is just action. You're trapped in the sarma by karma. You're trapped in the cycle of rebirth and death because of your action. And karma is a cumulative result of one's action in various lives. It can be good or bad, but I try to find a definition of good and bad, which I feel for them the good is doing your dharma, and the dharma is basically the duty. If you are a warrior, your duty is fight, but if you get too attached to it, if you win, I so want to win. I'm so afraid of lose. I'm afraid of the people I kill in battle. You get so emotionally attached to it. That means bad karma. Kind of hard to understand. It was it didn't matter what you do. It's just you are doing your duty, playing your role in the society, which kind of explains why there was no revolution happening with that strange caste system. If anyone wanted, please write in the comment section about letting me to tell the Indian history, which will kind of be interesting for the ancient Hinduist culture. Give me a reason to study it. And then later, after the Vedas, there was a thing called Ramayana. It was a classic epic in Hinduist religion. It basically tells the story of Rama and the seventh avatar of Vishnu. It was a very famous epic, but not as important as the things called Mahabharata, the most secret in Hinduist text and the longest one, I believe. And inside it, there was part of story called Bhagavad Gita. Okay, pronunciation mistake. Ignore it. I put on a text on the bottom. You can Google the pronunciation by yourself. And that one is the most secret text in all Hinduist texts. It was about a warrior prince called Arjuna. And he basically was inside his castle and found all his uncle, love, relative, friend coming over to take his place. And he stand on the castle looking at them. And he was I cannot kill them. I cannot fight them. If I fight them, I may kill my relative, I make you my friend. Those are the people I care. I could not, he could not face it. And then the person who carried his church, it's actually an avatar of Vishnu. And for some reason, he did not recognize his Vishnu, even though this person was totally blue. Interesting. But anyway, this person literally just they come to kill you. You should supposed to fight against them. And you are a warrior prince. And this is your dharma to, fight against them. Well, basically in the whole story, he teach the prince all those dharma, karma, all those stuff. And then basically teach the reader in some aspect. Well, so now let's get back to the history chapter. Another well-known writing will be Upanishads. It was a writing. It was I believe, appeared 600 to 800 years after the Vedas, and it was focused mostly on how to escape the cycle of rebirth, or we will call it samara. Okay, so explain how to leave dharma, so release and ultimate enlightenment known as moksha. It appeared in the appearance of this literature marked the beginning of a period known as Vedantic Age. And literally, Vedantic means end of Vedas. But the Vedic belief never really disappeared. God of Vedic tradition become less commonly worshipped, but its philosophies recorded in book were never forgotten. One of the main things that we said in the Vedas period is the principle of karma and dharma, action and duty, were too popular, especially in the lower class, to be fade away. Probably it was good explain why I should stay. I born so low, why I should stay in this low place. It's my duty, it's my test, so I should not fight against it. Suddenly make me feel so happy. I will not judge. I will not put my opinion into this one. I will not judge it. But you can write in the comment section. I will put emoji to show my idea. We just said that we never really know the beginning of this religion. But there are scholars who, just want to challenge the hard things. Keep debate over the beginning of Hinduism. And most get to agreement. It was during the Vedantic Age, between 800 and 400 BCE. There was shift of widespread worship of God, Vishnu and Shiva. They also agree this shift was coincide with the emerge of new religion thought in India that sought enlightenment, known as Savramana. And favorite example of religions at birth was Buddhism and Jainism. Later, Hinduism became divided into many sects. Well, throughout the time, it had been divided into many sects, which, appear for religion. But the oldest religion that still exists is amazing. The new sects believe and practice will accept because according to their philosophy, as long as you get onto the top of the mountain, it do not matter which path you go. I'm thinking should we talk about Buddhism or not, but that was too long. It should be another video. Actually, later there are some history that happened in 6th century, which is small revolution about what's the humanity's place within the universe. And Hindu philosophy seems to upset Vaishnav class that spoke against Hindu caste system because they just don't I was born in this place and I will not be able to get to a topper state of society before I die. So it kind of feels overwhelming power of the crystal class, the Brahmins. Well, even though they was a small revolution, they never directly challenged the Vedic god or belief. But the founder of Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama, he did. But anyway, that would be a whole series of another movie. And yes, before that, I should probably explain the caste system a little bit so you guys get an idea what I'm talking about, the power shift. Basically, the caste system is the social state. It used to keep society in order. And on the top was the Brahman, and then was the Kishravarya, and then it's the Vaishya and Stora. And also there was like on the bottom something that is called untouchable, even lower than, slave. And women cannot marry with men lower than the state, but men can marry women within the higher state. And this is only my thinking, do not take it seriously. Hinduism, religion, as you see, I feel like it was created to convince people to stay in their caste. Because we know that like at first, they leave the Hindu and settle somewhere there. Like those people are called Dravidians and create a kind of civilization called Harapata. But later, the Aryan come and conquer them. Now after conquer, it's time to control. Since there was like a small group of Aryan, even though they're in power, it's really hard to control a large group of Divarnas. So they basically put people into different, status and give them something that, let them stay there without really fighting. Well, that's what I think in political dark plot way. But you can just search it out by yourself. I believe many scholars believe in the same way too. And also, it's kind of time, so I will stop here. If you want to know more about ancient India's history, type in the comment section. Bye bye!